So there are two essential things are there in nervous system. One is neuron, another one is glial cell. Glial cells are nothing but non-neuron cells. So nervous system is made up of neurons and then glial cells. Now neuron, a typical neuron, when you see, it has got a cell body, axon, and then axon terminal. This is how it looks like. Now the top, these things are known as dendrites. These projections are known as dendrites. And this one is cell body. Cell body is also known as soma. This part is known as axon. And this one, axon terminal. Briefly, a neuron has got all these parts. You have dendrites, projections are there, and then cell body, axon, and then terminal is there. Now, the important features are, see this cell body contains special particles known as Nissl cells or Nissl body. So this Nissl body is nothing but rough endoplasmic reticulum. If you remember, the function of rough endoplasmic reticulum is to synthesize proteins. So the job of this Nissl body is they will be making proteins, a lot of proteins. because of this Nissl bodies, the cell body will be appear gray in color. You know, when you talk about brain, you call it as gray matter and white matter. The gray matter is nothing but the bodies which contains Nissl body. That is cell body. Cell body will appear gray in color. Now after that you have axon. Now most of the time, majority of neurons in central nervous system or in somatic nervous system, the neurons are surrounded with myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is made up of glucose erythrocytes or a kind of carbohydrate containing lipid cells. The lipid portion is high. Because of the lipid coating, they appear as white in color. This is what, when you read about nervous system, you talk about gray matter and white matter. Gray matter is non-myelinated part, and the gray color is because of Nissl body, which is nothing but, which contains rough endoplasmic reticulum. Whereas white matter is because of this myelin sheath, which is covering this neuron, and because of that, it has got the name white matter. So all the axons, most of the axons which has got myelin sheath appear white in color, whereas the one which contains Nissl body appears gray in color. So neuron has got this thing. Based upon the anatomy, a lot of classifications are there. We'll see in detail in later classes, but for now, understand this is what is neuron, and this is the difference between gray matter and white matter. Now, leaving this, the next important thing is glial cell. Now, glial cells will outnumber number of neurons. In human brain, there are at least 100 billion neurons out there. 100 billion means 100 crores. So 100 into 100 crores, that many number of neurons are there. More than that, glial cells are there. The neurons are surrounded with non-neuronal cells. They are known as glial cells. There are different kinds of glial cells out there. The major ones are astrocytes. Astra means star-like appearance. Because they appear like stars, they are known as astrocytes. And then ependymal cells. Ependymal, just now we have seen, ependymal cells will synthesize cerebrospinal fluid. And then microglial cells. And then oligodendrocytes. And some of the cells like Schwann cells are present in peripheral nervous system, but they are considered as glial cells. So let us see about one by one. See, the first one, astrocytes, the name is given because they appear as star in shape. But there are a lot of important functions are there with astrocytes. The major function is they will keep the neuron at that particular place. What do you mean by that? The neuron is surrounded with a lot of these glial cells. And these cells will compactly arrange it so that a particular nerve is there. But before that, understand the difference between neuron and nerve. Say, neuron is a single cell. Nerve is made up of 50 to 100 axons of a neuron. So all these axons will be bundled in a nerve, and that is what is called as a nerve. Neuron is a single entity which contains this dendrite, cell body, axon, and axon telomer. But in certain occasions, all these axons will be bundled together to form a nerve. Coming back to this one, so all these nerves are put in their place with the help of particular cells known as astrocytes. The job of astrocytes is they'll keep the neurons at a particular place. First one. Next one. Neurons get their oxygen nourishment from astrocytes. Blood supply is there, but the additional requirement of nourishment requirement is done by astrocytes. Second function. Third important function, see, neurons will be releasing chemicals known as neurotransmitters. The neurotransmitters regulation is also carried by astrocytes. Some of the neurotransmitters will be reuptaken by these astrocytes. So it has got three major functions. One, they keep the neuron at the place. Second one, they provide oxygen and nutrition to these neurons. Third one, reuptake of neurotransmitter is carried by these astrocytes. So nourishment, reuptake of neurotransmitters, and keep the neurons in the place. Ependymal cells, we have just seen, their job is to help in the formation of cerebrospinal fluid with the help of choroid plexus and ventricles. Microglia is brain immune cells. Any microbial attack on the brain is controlled by microglia. They are like brain phagocytes. They will try to attack that microorganisms and control that infection. They are brain immune cells. Now, oligodendrocytes, this myelin sheath. See, the job of myelin sheath is to insulate a neuron. I explained you at the beginning of the class, our neuronal activity is so high such that it can light a 23-watt bulb. So that kind of activities. So that electricity is insulated by myelin sheath. And that myelin sheath in CNS is produced by oligodendrocytes. So the job of this oligodendrocyte is to produce myelin. Finally, Schwann cells are present in peripheral nervous system. Their job is again myelin to these peripheral neurons. See, when you see in peripheral nervous system, you have somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system is there. All somatic nervous system, the neurons goes to skeletal muscle and every neuron is myelinated. So that peripheral nervous system myelination is done by Schwann cell. Whereas in autonomic nervous system, all the preganglionic neurons are myelinated. Again, that myelination is done by Schwann cells. In CNS, it is by oligodendrocytes. So this is about neuron and glial cells. Again, remember, the number of glial cells is a lot more than neurons, almost 25 times more. Now, the glial cell balance is very important for neuron health. We have different types of glial cells are there. Astrocytes, ependymal cells, microglia, oligodendrocytes, and Schwann cell. Astrocytes, they appear like star and they are responsible for nourishment and reuptake of neurotransmitters. Ependymal cells, in combination with ventricles, they will form cerebrospinal fluid. Microglia, they are brain immune cells. Oligodendrocyte forms myelin sheath for central nervous system, whereas Schwann cells forms myelin sheath for peripheral nervous system. Because of this myelin presence, brain CNS has got 70% of lipid. 70% of lipid is because of this myelin and a lot of fat bodies. So this is about neuron and glial cells. Next. The other important aspect for brain is blood-brain barrier. Let us understand what do you mean by the blood-brain barrier and what is the significance of the barrier. See, whatever the drugs we take, they will get into blood circulation. From that blood circulation, they will be going to every part of our body. Exceptions are not all the drugs get into brain. They get into the blood, but they are not getting into the brain. Blood circulation to brain is also there, but still, whatever is the blood will not goes to brain. The reason is there is something called as blood-brain barrier. Now understand this, blood-brain barrier. So usually the blood vessel, the basement membrane of blood vessel is made up of endothelial cell. So see, blood vessels will be like this, right? If you cross-check this and see the appearance, The basement membrane is made up of epithelial cells like this. Imagine this one is a blood vessel and here the blood is flowing. These are the basement cells. Endothelial cells. They are called as endothelial cells. Now, if you see, there are certain gaps in these endothelial cells through which the plasma can leak out. So this is what is there in normal blood vasculature. Whereas in brain, you have a different arrangement is there. In the brain, so this is how endothelial cells are there. You can see there are tight junctions are there. Tight junctions means no leakage is allowed. Not only that, I explained about astrocytes. Astrocytes will be surrounding these things like this. Astrocytes will be surrounding these cells like this. So when astrocytes are surrounded, nothing can goes in and goes out. And this makes this blood-brain barrier. So to the brain, all these endothelial cells are very tightly packed, known as tight junctions, and they are surrounded with these astrocytes so that further leakage is inhibited. So whatever gets into the brain will not get in, whatever gets into your blood will not get into your brain because of these tight junctions. There are certain carriers are there for glucose and amino acids, and some of the lipid molecules can get inside there. Leaving these things, other molecules cannot get into the brain. So this is called as blood-brain barrier, and it is there to protect brain from external chemicals, any harmful chemicals. Whatever the drug we take, they will not get into the brain, thanks to this blood-brain barrier. Now, the last aspect